Have you ever heard of a man so strong he could tear a lion apart with his bare hands? A man who could slay 1,000 enemies with nothing but the jawbone of a donkey. This is the story of Samson, a hero chosen by God before he was even born, gifted with supernatural strength to protect his people. From birth, he was set apart as a Nazirite, a vow that meant, among other things, a razor was never to touch his head. His long hair was a symbol of his covenant with God, the source of his incredible power. For years, Samson was an unstoppable force. No chains could hold him. No army could defeat him. He was Israel's champion, a one-man wrecking crew against their oppressors, the Philistines. But every great hero has a weakness, and Samson's wasn't a kryptonite stone or a magical curse. His weakness was a woman named Delilah. Samson fell deeply in love with her, and in his love, he found a vulnerability he never knew he had. The Philistine rulers, who had been humiliated by Samson time and time again, saw their opportunity. They went to Delilah in secret with a proposition that was hard to refuse. They told her, "Seduce him and find out the secret of his great strengths so we can overpower him. If you do this for us, each of us will give you 1,100 pieces of silver." It was a fortune, a life-changing amount of money, and for that price, Delilah agreed to betray the man who loved her. So the trap was set. Delilah began her work, using Samson's affection for her as a weapon. Day after day, she'd ask him, her voice sweet and persuasive, "Tell me the secret of your great strength, and how you can be tied up and subdued." 3 times, Samson played along, giving her false answers. First, he told her if he were tied with 7 fresh bowstrings, he would become as weak as any other man. So Delilah got the bowstrings, tied him up while he slept, and shouted, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." He snapped the bowstrings as if they were threads. Delilah acted hurt, pouting, "You've made a fool of me. You lied." So she tried again. This time, Samson told her that new ropes that had never been used would do the trick. Again, she tied him with new ropes, and again he broke them off his arms like they were nothing. She pressed him again, more insistently this time, her frustration growing. "How can you say I love you when you won't confide in me?" she pleaded. He then told her to weave the 7 braids of his hair into the fabric on the loom. She did it, and once more the result was the same. He woke up and pulled away the loom and the fabric, his strength completely intact. Her nagging was relentless. The Bible says she pressed him daily with her words and urged him, so that his soul was vexed to death. Imagine that, the strongest man on earth, worn down not by an army, but by the persistent questioning of the woman he loved. His heart grew weak. His love for her began to cloud his judgment, pushing aside the wisdom and obedience he owed to God. Desire blinded his discernment. Finally, exhausted and unable to resist her any longer, Samson gave in. He told her everything. He confessed the secret he had guarded his entire life. A razor has never been used on my head, he said, because I have been a Nazirite, dedicated to God from my mother's womb. If my head was shaved, my strength would leave me, and I would become as weak as any other man. He had handed her the key to his own destruction. Believing she finally had the truth, Delilah sent word to the Philistine rulers. "Come up this once," she said, "for he has told me all his heart." They came, money in hand. That evening, as Samson slept with his head on Delilah's lap, she called in a man to shave off the 7 braids of his hair. As the last lock of hair fell to the floor, his strength began to leave him. Delilah then shook him awake, crying out her familiar warning, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." He woke up thinking he would shake them off as he had done before. But this time was different. The Bible gives us a heartbreaking detail here. He did not know that the Lord had left him. His power wasn't in the hair itself, but in the covenant with God that the hair represented. By allowing it to be cut for the sake of a woman's desire, he had broken that covenant. His strength was gone. The Philistines seized him. They showed him no mercy. They gouged out his eyes, leaving the mighty champion blind and helpless. They bound him with bronze shackles and took him to Gaza, where he was forced to grind grain in the prison, a job typically done by animals. The man who once single-handedly defeated armies was now a broken, humiliated slave. The story of Samson and Delilah is a powerful and tragic lesson. It teaches us that betrayal can often come from those we trust the most. It's a stark reminder that when we allow our desires to replace our obedience to God, even the strongest among us can fall. What is consecrated to God should never be surrendered to temptation. Samson's story isn't just about losing his hair. It's about losing his connection to the source of his strength because he traded his divine purpose for a human passion. It's a timeless warning for all of us. Thanks for watching. If you found this story meaningful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. See you next time.